Create a mystery story like the cooling corpse, which uses logarithms to solve. One very rainy day on June 6, 2013, Chartie was very bored. Chartie decided that he would brush his teeth until 2:25. He scanned his teeth and found that 90% of his teeth was filled with bacteria. He started brushing his teeth at 12:25. While he was brushing his teeth, he read a magazine saying that the lowest amount of bacteria on your teeth at a certain time is 5%. At 1:55, Chartie scanned his teeth and found that it was 40% bacteria. What percentage of bacteria would be on his teeth at 2:25? Okay, let's write out a pairing equation for a problem like this. Now, we should figure out what from the story fits into the equation. After reading the passage again, it looks like the only thing that fits into the equation is the asymptote, which is 5 for the B. Now we have to find what K and M stands for. To find those variables, we are going to have to plug in some values from the passage. So, from the passage, it was 90% at the start, which was 12:25, and it was 40% at 1:55. The percentage of bacteria is the Y, and the time passed is the X. So, for the X variable, every increase of 1 is an increase of 1 hour. If you don't understand, here's an example. The start is 12:25, and at that time 0 hours have passed from the initial time. At 1:25, the value of X would be 1 because 1 hour has passed. 2:25 would equal 2, and 3:25, sorry for the mistake on there, I'm so bad at this. 3:25 would be 3, because 3 hours passed. Woo! For this scenario, the X value for the equation with 90 would be 0 because that's the initial time. The X value for the equation with 40 would be 1.5 because 1 hour and a half passed from the initial time. Okay, now on to dividing the equations. But before we do that, we have to always remember to subtract the B values, which is the asymptote, from the Y values, which is the percentage. Don't forget to do this, it has messed me up many times and it will mess you up too, so I'm warning you. Now, we're going to have to divide the equations to find the values of K and M. Remember, you should always have the equation with a higher X value on top because when you divide it, it will always turn out to be a positive exponent. When you divide the equations, you're going to have to divide the whole equation. So, 35 divided by 85, which equals 0.412. K divided by K, which equals 1. M to the 1.5 power divided by M to the 0 power equals M to the 1.5 power. So now, your equation should look like 0.412 equals M to the 1.5 power. Now at this point, you're going to have to grab the 1.5 root of 0.412. Once you do the 1.5 root of 0.412, you should get an answer of M equals 0.554. Congrats! We have our M value. Now we have to solve for our last variable, K. To solve for K, we have to plug in a point. This time though, we don't have to use two equations because we have an M value. We have to choose an X and a Y value now. So let's choose the one that is easier. So when we plug everything in, the equation should be 90 equals K times 0.554 to the 0 power plus 5. It gets easy from here because it's just like doing normal algebra. So you start things off by subtracting 5 from both sides. After that, you do the 0.554 to the power of 0, which equals 1. Now you divide both sides by 1 and you get that 85 equals K. Now the final equation should look like Y equals 85 times 0.554 to the power of X plus 5. Another typo. What is this? What is wrong? But wait, if you didn't forget yet, the question asks what the percentage of bacteria on the surface of his teeth is going to be at 2:25. It's not that hard to figure out. Don't worry. Okay, to figure out the X value, you just have to subtract the specific time with the initial time. 2 hours passed after the initial time. So now we know that the value for X is 2. So if we write all this out, the equation should be Y equals 85 times 0.554 to the power 2 plus 5. Now, all we have to do is solve the equation. Whoops, typo. Remember PEMDAS. PEMDAS. P-E-M-D-A-S. Okay, so 0.554 to the power 2 equals 0.307 times 85 equals 26.1 plus 5, and that equals 31.1. What does the 31.1 mean? It means that Chartie's teeth were 31.1% filled with bacteria at 2:25. The final answer to the question is 31.1% filled with bacteria. Hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. I forgot to have logs in my question. Gosh dang it! So here's a quickie straight from the passage. What would the time be when Chartie's teeth would be at 70% full of bacteria? To start off with a question like this, you have to plug in 70 into your y value. Next, you have to subtract 5 from both sides. Once you do that, then you have to divide 85 from both sides. Now that you have an answer of 0.765, your equation should look like 0.765 equals 0.554 to the x. When your equations look like this, the best way to solve this is with logs, not the tree kind. If you take the log of both sides, then your equation should look like log of 0.765 equals log of 0.554 to the x power. When you take the log of a number with an exponent, you can take the exponent and move it in front of the log. If you don't understand, then here's an example. If you do the log of 5 to the 6th power, then you can move the 6 in front of the log. The new equation would look like 6 times the log of 5. So now, our equation should look like log of 0.765 equals the x times log of 0.554. Once you're here, you have to get the x to be alone to find what its value is. You can divide the log of 0.554 from both sides to do so. Once you divide the log of 0.765 with the log of 0.554, then your answer should be x equals 0.454. What does x equal 0.454 mean? Well, it means that at 0.454 of an hour, Chartie's teeth will be 70% filled with bacteria. If you want to be specific, then you can multiply 0.454 with 60 to find the exact minutes. The final answer would be at about 27.24 minutes. Chartie's teeth was 70% full of bacteria. Now we have to add 27 minutes to the initial time to find the time his teeth was at 70%. 12:25 plus 27 minutes equals 12:52. So the final answer would be at 12:52, Chartie's teeth was 70% full of bacteria. I'm pretty sure I'm done now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.